go live now to the Nationals leader, David Littleproud. He joins us now this afternoon, and you were raised, it's your hometown, Chinchilla, isn't it? How's the community holding up, David?
Yeah, look, they're still numb, Kieran. This sort of stuff doesn't happen in Australia, let alone in Chinchilla. It's just a quiet little town, goes about its business. We're law-abiding citizens, and so this strikes at the very heart of the community, and you've got to appreciate country coppers are part of the community. And there's this sense of protection of them because when you're isolated, you expect them to protect us. And so in return, we're very protective of our police. It's a revered position in regional, rural and remote communities, one in which, goes to the very heart of our family. And so this isn't what Chinchilla and Tara isn't. This isn't what I grew up in. These towns are just the salt of earth. And for this to happen, I think the malicious intent is what has really just shook these communities to the core. You're trying to understand the why, and I don't think we ever will. You can't understand the inconceivable. No. This is just madness, and the senseless loss of life, it was going to take time for the community to process. And it's not just in the here and now, it'll be in the coming days and weeks. And when the cameras are gone, the journos are gone, and the interest is gone, it's important we continue to keep going back and as leaders of the community and make sure we wrap our arms around not just the police community, but Mr. Dare and his family as well, and to make sure that, someone that was just doing what every Australian does in the bush is go, if there's a fire, you go across the neighbour, you see if you need to load the fire kit on the ute and go over and help. And for him to lose his life doing what every Australian would do is just senseless.
It really is senseless, and you see the images of the young faces of Rachel McCrow, Matthew Arnold, the two young constables. It breaks your heart, it really does. And we speak about the broader police community. I mean, the nation is grieving off the back of this, but the police community in Queensland must be feeling it really quite strongly right at the moment. So raw for them, David.
Oh, it is, and the way in which the malicious intent in which this was undertaken, and I think the investigation that will ensue now from the police will obviously shed some light, but there's no explanation for this, and I think the brutality of it is just struck to the core of men and women who put their lives on the line for us without any real thought. And I think that no one would ever have thought that an incident of this scale and magnitude would have happened to them. I mean, I know they haven't understand what they sign up to, but for this to happen just makes it real. And I think we also got to appreciate the other emergency service personnel, the AMBOs that were out there, that were in harm's way, kept safe by the police, but also the fireys who are in those towns are auxiliary volunteers. They had a fire that's going through scrub. They had to make sure that they were in a position if needed. So, this just goes to show that the community come together, and they'll have to come together moving forward. And I know the primary health networks are federally funded, and also the state mental health supports are being surged into Chinchilla and Tara, not just for the police community, but for the broader community, because this is something, I don't think I hope we never see again, but something we never expected to see in these quiet little towns where this doesn't really compute to us.
No, it doesn't. It's hard to compute, I think, for anyone who sees this in our country. Sometimes you see this abroad, but and sadly, David, just finally, there didn't appear to be any red flag here for the young constables ahead of arriving at what was clearly an ambush.
Yeah, and I think this is where the investigation, it's important that there's clear air for the police to be able to work through this investigation and understand that, on reports it sounded as though that they were prepared for a visit by the police. And as I understand it, there was two constables. The two constables tragically lost their lives. Arnold and McCrow were from Tara Station, and the two from Chinchilla. It was just that the Tara constables got there first. To do the job. That wasn't red flagged as being high risk. It was one of those, just a safety check that these constables and police officers do around the country every day. And to walk into this malicious intent of destruction and senselessness is something that I don't think anyone's ever going to understand. But it's important we just give time and healing to the families to help them get through it.
Yeah, indeed, and all the best to your community as well over the coming weeks. It won't be the easiest of Christmases for many. David Littleproud, appreciate your time. Thanks.